That was the McDonald brothers' last-minute insistence on retaining their original restaurant in San Bernardino. They were going to have their employees run it for them. What a goddamn rotten trick! I needed the income from that store. There wasn't a better location in the entire state. I screamed like hell about it, but no way. They decided they wanted to keep it, and they were willing to pull the plug on the whole arrangement if they didn't get it. Eventually, I opened a McDonald's across the street from that store, which they had renamed the Big M, and it ran them out of business. But that episode is why I can't feel charitable or forgiving toward the McDonald brothers. They went back on their promise, made on a handshake, and forced me into grinding it out, grunting and sweating like a galley slave for every inch of progress in California. California! I was fascinated by the promise I saw out there. The tide of population growth and economic and cultural energy in the country had shifted from the northeast and was running toward the south and southwest. I didn't want McDonald's to miss out on that rising crest. "You know, I've been thinking I ought to go out to California and open an office out there," I remarked to Art Trigg. "I knew another guy had ideas like that," my companion said with mock peevishness as he wheeled my Thunderbird through Michigan Avenue traffic. "The doctor told him to soak his head in beer every night, and it cured him." "Don't you like sunshine, Art?" "Not if I can get moonshine, Ray." I have a whole album of mental snapshots from that period. Turning through them brings back a rush of memories. Not nostalgia, but reaffirmation of my faith in McDonald's and the people who helped me build it. I speak of faith in McDonald's as if it were a religion, and without meaning any offense to the Holy Trinity, the Koran, or the Torah. That's exactly the way I think of it. I've often said that I believe in God, family, and McDonald's, and in the office, that order in reversed. If you are running a 100-yard dash, you aren't thinking about God while you're running, not if you hope to win. Your mind is on the race. My race is McDonald's. Mental snapshot. A thin, solemn young man sits next to my desk. He's clearly nervous. His name is Luigi Salvanesci, and he has not been in this country long. June Martino sponsored his immigration from Italy and got him a job as a crewman in our store in Glen Ellen, Illinois. I am trying to find out what potential he might have within the corporation. His chief handicap is not his difficulty with the English language. He probably has a bigger vocabulary than I do. His problem is that he is overeducated. Luigi has a Ph.D. in canon law from the University of Rome and Latin University in the Vatican. He reads ancient Greek for relaxation. When he came to the United States, he anticipated getting a university teaching position. His wife, also a Ph.D., was hired by Valparaiso University in Indiana. But Luigi learned to his great astonishment that colleges here are not teaching Latin anymore. They had no need of his specialty. So he stayed with McDonald's and worked his way up from the lowest crew position to manager of the store. His conversation with me is full of explanations of how he has been culture-shocked by his transition from classic refinement in Rome to a restaurant that is the symbol of a society on wheels, in which people eat on the move, holding their food in their hands. He thinks the architecture of our red and white tile buildings should be redesigned. Is this guy nuts? My decision finally was to bring Luigi into the corporation. All that education had given him a complete set of additional things to worry about beyond the normal problems of business, but he seemed to handle them well. Certainly his work record made him a prime candidate to manage one of our new McOpco stores. One of the things Luigi had done in that Glen Ellen McDonald's was to teach what may have been the first formal operations lessons in our system. He decided that his crew was not greeting customers properly, so he wrote what he called a window man lesson and sat his crew members on shortening cans in the basement to listen to him lecture. He gave them homework to do and money rewards when they showed improvement. The idea of holding classes for new operators and managers had occurred to me when I first brought Fred Turner into headquarters. He was enthusiastic about it too, and it was one of those goals that keep coming up in meetings but are put aside to make room for more pressing things. Fred refused to let the idea get buried.